it's the busier agent that's like, man, I know I can do more business. I just don't know how to implement all this stuff. And that's most of your best people, or not the best. I was never the best at that stuff. I was good. Get me face to face with people, I'm good. And so that's why partner worked, right? And so the thing that I keep hearing, number one, everybody struggled for a long enough period of time now where there's like something's got to change. There's that feeling in the marketplace, and it seems to me like most people, again, we're not talking about EXP. They may or may not have put it together that I'm with EXP at this point, and they're like, if I was going to go anywhere, I would probably go to EXP. Well, why is that? And I think it's because people have been pawing at them, literally, not in a good way in a lot of cases. Like, everybody's trying to recruit you to EXP, and they have been for years.
Sure.
And you're like, no. And you're like, well, maybe there's something over here that I should, be paying attention to. So they're in the back of their mind, they're kind of open to it, more open to it than they have been. And I think that's largely because everybody's been telling them, for years that this is the place to be. And they're clearly not getting to their goals where they're at. And so I think that's a little bit of the surface level, how people are feeling, if you've been through the last 2 years, and if you didn't go through 07, 08, or even if you did, you're like, man, something's got to be, there's got to be a better way, right? You got to, at some point you wake up and be like, this ain't working. I've got to figure something out. And so I feel like people are way more open-minded than they have been in the past. And they're thinking just maybe there is something better. And so that little gate of the mind being more open, when things are good, there's no you just don't wake up and think, how is changing the company I'm at going to change my business? Because it generally doesn't change anything. Right. And so I think that's kind of the temperature, if I was to say, of all these calls, that I'm getting so far this year and towards the end of last year, that's been the temperature.
So they're more open to it. I think we're starting to see too, some of these, folks that got hung into their legacy brands because they got a paycheck and they had to sign X amount of time frame. Yep. I think is starting to expire. So starting to see a little bit of that. I think everybody's really open to it. They're like, okay, I finally get it. I finally have, at a point to where I know we got to make a change.
Yeah. The golden handcuffs are coming off, and those conversations are happening. You're spot on.
So I think
it's just like that.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that's happening. And as far as, making the move, I mean, Coke needs Pepsi. And so no matter what happens with checkmate on the other competitors out there, somebody will kind of navigate a little bit.
Sure.
But to me that, even in some capacity, having that type of competition is healthy. And I just base it off of our experience. I base it off of our experience for sure. Right. Like, if we were number one in our market and it was easy, we probably wouldn't be here today.
100%. No, I agree. I would say this as well. The unique thing, and I made a long post about this the other day, and given enough time, I can apparently write pretty good copy. But what I see happening, I'm watching EXP corporate and our fucking badass CEO and our brilliant founder, and we're throwing them things like, hey y'all, we got some new competitors out here, like we're on the front lines out here, fighting, and we're like, send a message back to the top, we got a top over here, like, and then they go into the lab and they're like, okay, we can, let's not shoot first, let's think, and then let's come up with some, and they come up with some ideas, and then they're like, how about this?